Hey guys, Tarke here, and I wanted to show you how I got this rather delectable hideout. Now, some of you may or may not be aware, but a bunch of hideouts have been added into the Atlas, and this is the Glacial Hideout, and I spent 5 hours farming for this hideout on stream, and I'm very much looking forward to doing some fancy things to it, to like make it look really sexy. This is what the base hideout looks like. Now, the Glacial Hideout does not actually come from the Glacier map. It comes from Iceberg, and it's very simple. You just run Iceberg and it'll spawn in one of two locations that I'll show you in the map now. Most people get their spawns on the second island. That's where I got my spawn, or next to the final boss. It could maybe spawn on this first island here, but no one I know has had it reported here. Most people have it spawn somewhere on this island, and there will be a blue icon on your mini-map. It will not be on your Atlas, and it will be like here, roughly was where it spawned for me. But it could spawn anywhere along this outer island, and it could also spawn near the boss, which is just up this way. And it's a very short map, and you can very easily kind of tell, did I get it or not? You can either full clear it if you want to, or you can just check this back bit and then do a full loop of this second island here. Now, assuming you're in Trade League, you can probably just purchase this off someone. But let's say that you're an SSF guy, or you don't want to purchase off someone, and you want to farm it ethically, and you go, okay, I know where it spawns. You've shown me like the 2 spawn points, but how do I set up a like strategy around it? Because when I was setting up my Atlas for Iceberg farming, a few people got really confused by it. So this is also a very brief reminder on how to do shape strat for anyone who missed shape strat. So Iceberg by default is a tier 2 map, and you can either keep it as just a base tier 2 map, or you could shape it up to a tier 7 map, or you could Elder Orb it up to a tier 16 map. The most efficient way and the slowest way of you eventually getting it would be for you to Elder it into a 16, slowly build up a base, then farm it, then try and sustain it, and you would get it eventually that way. I personally think the quickest, most efficient way of doing it is keeping it as tier 2. The middle ground would be shaping up to a tier 7, because in tier 7 maps, you're going to get more XP than just farming a tier 2. I farmed it for like 5 hours. I basically farmed it all the way from 91 to 92 in terms of XP. It took a long time. So I unshaped every single tier 2 map aside from Iceberg, and I removed every single tier 3 map aside from Grotto, because Iceberg connects to Grotto and to Cursed Crypt. So I shaped Cursed Crypt up into a tier 8 and left Grotto on there, meaning the only tier 3 that could drop from Iceberg is Grotto. The reason why I did that is Grotto is actually quite a nice map, and it has a very common div card for fusing orbs, which if you are in SSF or in a small private league, well, you can get a whole lot of Grottos very quickly, and I'll eventually run these and I'll get a whole bunch of fusing orbs, which means that I can, 6-link a bunch of items, hopefully, if I'm lucky. Now, what this means is, while I'm running Iceberg, because I've got over 100% completion, if a tier 1 map was to drop, it will guarantee roll into a tier 2, and the only tier 2 it can drop is Iceberg. So I was just chaining Icebergs off Icebergs, and then it meant that if a tier 2 ever dropped, because of my completion, it would guarantee roll into a tier 3, and the only tier 3 it would be Grotto, which is a map I don't mind doing. If you wanted to, like, have it so only this dropped, you could then Elder Orb the Grotto. So this is your 16, this is your 8, and then it will never roll up, meaning that if a tier 2 drops, rolled up to a tier 3, there'd be no available tier 3, it'd roll back down to a tier 2. But personally, that's a little too extreme of a setup just to get a hideout. This same thought process can be applied to any of the other hideouts hidden among the Atlas, and it works. It's a bit slow. People will ask you, why the hell are you farming a tier 2? But I think it's well worth it. I think it's really cool personally, and I'm just very happy that we have this level of end game added into Path of Exile. I think it's really cool that you can be like, I'm just going to farm this, and if you have a bunch of friends in there, One thing you can also do is you could have it so all of your friends farm different hideout locations, and then when one of the guys finds it, like you just find the side room, you can just drop a TP and TP all your friends in. It also means that if you're in Trade League and you want to maybe make some money, you can also sell those portals. So for example, when I found the hideout in my one, I TP'd in 5 portals worth of people. 5 people got it for free. I did all the grind. They got it for nothing. Seems good, right? So anyway, just food for thought. And I'll be doing some more hideout-specific videos soon, alongside some guides on how to actually import and export hideouts, because people have been a little bit confused with that. And since someone asked me, no, you cannot import my Glacial Hideout if you haven't unlocked the Glacial Hideout. But anyway, I'm Tarke. Have a good day. Bye-bye.